Ready? Chips.
Off the old block.
Ready. Audio's running. Camera's on.
Jan Wayne Swayze presents the FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram. Search FRE99 podcast. Shout out to all the sponsors. Shout out to all the listeners.
A little softer today.
Jan in the building.
Hello.
Hello. Rommel in the building.
I put my feelings on safety so I don't go shooting where your heart be.
Who is that?
That's LMA or LMI.
And on episode 166?
Yeah, I don't know.
167.
I think it's 66.
Yeah, of the FREE99 podcast.
Jan corrected. It's fine.
We have returning guest.
3-time champ.
Yeah, like on recorded on International Women's Day.
On International Women's Day, which is why I picked LMI, because she's an international woman. Bruh.
Wouldn't have you chosen?
No, because American Boy, that
yeah.
song. I was thinking about that, but then that would be kind of mass, like sexist if I chose the song American Boy. So it was well thought out.
A great friend that I've known 25 years.
Yeah,
Damn, 25 years.
Yeah.
Mother Jerisa of Life Breeds Art.
Mother Jerisa.
Thanks for having me here.
You know what's
Again.
funny? I do that thing that you just did right there, the self-clasp handshake. I do it all the time during Zoom meetings.
Is that a self-class
Really?
handshake?
Yeah.
Or is that like a bravo?
No, it's this. And you know who made that big? It was Ronald Reagan, that son of a bitch.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
That cowboy.
Yeah, I'm still going to do it, though. Fuck you.
Hi, Jerisa.
claim it.
Hi, Jerisa.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Big fan.
Finally.
Big fan of your show.
My non-existent show.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of you guys' show. You guys have done amazing things in a short period of time. I'm very proud.
This is why I
you were
wore
there
my
for a lot
flower
of it.
jacket today, because we're going to give flowers out today.
Yeah,
man.
you guys deserve your flowers.
Yeah. I do want to start it off real quick with a game, because this game will be lasting the entire show. All right, so before I'm gonna give you a little background. Okay.
I have no idea what's happening,
Yeah,
Jerisa.
nobody.
I'm so sorry.
Just to let
I'm all
everyone
like-
know here. Nobody here really
She
knows
pierced
what's
into my soul.
Nobody here really knows what's happening, but this is how I came up with the game. I did my research on Jerisa, and the internet says a lot. It did say that, for example,
Fighting girls in the bathroom.
one. Oh damn you! So one thing it said is that
Internet did say that.
you, Jerisa, and please
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. You do not like to be boxed in one genre of art.
No, I don't.
That's something that you learned from college,
yes.
and that is not something that you are. And when I asked you, what did you want to drink? You said, I have no preference. It could be from tequila to cognac, right?
Right.
So
He quoted me. Oh no.
what we're doing today is Jan over there has a bag of 19 mini bottles of alcohol.
This is gonna suck.
19 mini bottles of alcohol. I can tell you what the choices are,
Because Black Sheep said,
or
yo.
if you really like a surprise, we can just find out when Jan pulls it out. Jerisa, the call's on you.
I think you should put it.
Jan
Wouldn't
doesn't
it be
want
a
to pull
surprise
out.
anyway? Because then I can't see what I'm pulling out.
Yeah, but I don't want you to feel it on the bottles because you're an artist and you're very good with like senses and stuff. That's why I asked you to do it.
I don't know any bottles.
Yeah, see, give it to the non-drinker.
All right, here you go.
Yeah. So do you want to keep it a surprise?
Ooh, it's cold though.
Yeah, I
Keep it
did. I
in
did put it in the
camera.
freezer.
Thank
Keep it
you.
in
All
camera.
right. So do you want to know what bottles are in there?
Okay, but what's the game?
The game is that he's basically going to pick whatever we're going to drink because we don't like to be boxed in.
Yeah, you guys don't like to be boxed.
We don't like to be boxed in. The first one is tequila.
Okay, I'm good with that.
College
No.
all over again.
Oh, we're not making.
No. There's one for each of us. So now you got to pull Gus's and mine.
So
So that's tequila.
is this a shot? Are you? Are you?
You can either shoot it or you can put it in a cup, whatever you'd like.
Holy cannoli.
But whenever you want another drink, Jen will pick for us.
Ah, okay. All
All
right.
right.
I don't know about this.
Just give love a
Are you
chance.
unsure about mixing drinks?
Yeah.
It should be.
If you don't like what you have, you could give it to me.
You know, in your 40s, like the way things work on the inside.
Technically, we're all 40.
Yeah.
What if you
No
go
one
with
has to know.
what you chose and I'll just give you like a second of it or something.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So, do you want to choose? Do you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
Oh, you go next.
All right, Jan. Hook me up, playa.
There's 19 or there's 3 of the same. Ooh, yeah.
What we have here is peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, that sounds gross.
What?
Yeah.
See?
Do you want to trade?
No, I need a tequila today.
And this is for Gus. Absinthe.
I am not drinking this
Come
shit.
on!
No, I'm not drinking that shit.
Hey, I've never seen a bottle like this.
No.
Like, I don't
Come
think I've
on,
ever seen
that
Where did
is
you
not-
get
no,
this?
Gus,
that
you're not
is
going to
not-
drink absinthe?
No, I am
I'll
not.
trade you for the absinthe. You want to trade for the absinthe?
You're driving home.
Yeah, but bro, it's me, dog. And no, I'm not
Neutral
driving
spirit.
home because I'm a responsible adult.
I'll take Jerisa.
This is like poison, man.
You gonna take the absinthe, Jerisa?
I'm not gonna drink that shit.
I want to taste it.
Yeah!
Yes. It is not my podcast. It's Jerisa's podcast. I'm not.
This is gonna be an amazing game.
I'm definitely not shooting this, though.
No, you don't
This
have to
looks
shoot
like
it.
This
Definitely
looks like
not.
a double shot.
I'm actually interested to
death.
see how that tastes. I've never had absinthe, but
All right, well, I won't drink it from the bottle
I will
then.
be
so we can
absent
taste
that
it.
day.
yeah, I'll be absinthe.
No, thanks.
I'll be absent after I drink it.
I've only seen Jan's reaction to him pulling it. So, and he doesn't even drink. So you heard some shit about this, and I've heard some shit about that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it as hearing about it.
This brand or
No,
absinthe?
Absent, yeah.
Well, I mean, if we all had the luxury of having our significant other pick us up, then technically we would be drinking absinthe all day.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Isn't it like illegal in some like countries or something?
I mean, what country?
Is this like Everclear?
So is like Oreos. Oreos are illegal in some countries.
Shut up. Are you
They
serious?
are, yes. There's a chemical compound in
Oh yeah, that's right.
in Oreos that causes cancer. That is in a lot of like Little Debbie's food.
In the UK, right?
Yeah.
I saw that article.
Yeah.
I hope we all enjoy the game.
No.
I mean, you know.
Thank you for changing. Yes.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Time to play the game.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna put it in a cup
I'm sipping.
so that somebody can taste this.
Sure.
Because look, it says with herbs and colored with, what is that?
That's just
Wormwood
Oh, wormwood, yeah.
something.
the name is Mephisto, and that's the other name for the devil,
Oh, I need
Right?
Jesus.
right?
Which
I
is
need
great
Jesus for this.
because that is exactly what you two were fighting when you both met through Jesus.
I don't know if we were fighting it or we didn't know we were fighting it, right?
But now you do.
I mean, you know, sometimes. Oh, you already have a cup.
He doesn't drink. So just how I met Jerisa was
Yeah.
through God.
Through God.
God.
On God.
And
Oh, God.
she has, I could probably say she was one of the first graphic designers I've ever worked with.
25 years ago.
Yeah, you're still in high school.
Yeah, I was in high school.
Yeah, she was still in high school. She designed a T-shirt. Jerisa's so good that I could tell her what I like this, and this. I want them to do this. I want them to do this.
Yeah.
And she was able to do it.
We work well together.
We always work
Yeah,
well together.
whenever we're on the phone and because usually you're the one that has like the creative, like
Juices flowing.
something's always going on, right?
Yeah.
And he'll just talk me through it, what he needs me to do. And I'm like, all right, let me do some drafts and tell me what you think.
But this was while you were in high school that you were doing
Yeah, I
this.
think I met, I was 15 or 16 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you designing on back then?
Well, I was.
Like MS Paint?
she was drawing.
No,
this
I was
shit.
drawing.
Oh, okay.
by hand.
I was like, 'cause damn, I was like,
Well, you know, it was back in the day, right? So
Yeah.
everything was just like hand drawn.
Right.
Pencil or ink. And I think since middle school, I've been doing flyers for people.
Yep.
wow.
Dance flyers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I think in high school, I think the t-shirt I did for you was in ink. And then you just
I took it the first
had
step.
it screen printed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it literally
Coma.
looks hand drawn.
I have the papers still. I have like the original
Wow.
The
papers.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She did. It was a front and back. It was on some like, it was a bunch of DJs around a. Do you remember what it was?
around a turntable, and then there's like there was so many DJs. I would think it was like X something.
Extreme turntable
concept.
Well, do you remember?
Ecstasy.
That was the era.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the design was inside the turntable?
No, I don't.
It was a world. It was like a globe. So it was that, and then on and then the back hit right here, right below the collar was the original Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, and it had the XTC right there.
I'm telling you, you should have trademarked that logo.
Oh yeah, but it was hand drawn. What made it dope?
Yeah.
She would do flyers for us like. We did parties, and she was still in like high school. She was doing parties for me and her. She was doing flyers for me and your brother for our clique, and then like just get them out.
Flyers.
Yep, club flyers.
Yeah, but that was back in the day when they didn't even print stuff out like graphics and stuff. So I think I didn't start using like computer graphic stuff until 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because not everyone had Adobe Photoshop, and
Yeah, for sure.
that was expensive. I had to go into the college. College lab.
Oh, yeah,
like
the
at
lab.
night. Yeah.
Sneak in there.
She literally would give me like hand drawn stuff for flyers, and I remember one time she gave me one. She was like, I was gonna color it, and I was like, I'll do it. So I spent like shout out to Philly Phil and shout out to Mike. Me, Phil, and Mike went to the what's now the FedEx. It was the Kinko's.
Yeah.
And I used their coloring pad.
Oh, right, right.
And Jerisa seen it. She was like, that wasn't really the colors I was gonna go for.
Can't fuck with an artist, dog.
She was like, that wasn't really the colors I was going for. And I was like, oh my bad. I didn't know what I was doing.
As long as you liked it.
So you were doing consignment work back in high school.
Oh yeah.
Were you charging?
Yeah.
No.
No, you didn't charge for any of this.
Well, because who was I? I was just trying to get my name out.
Well, congratulations, it worked.
And I told her too. I said, put your email on the flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was. And she drew her little icon, which was her.
She's like, okay, it's like lowercase
And
J, uppercase E.
I think it was an AOL account.
Yeah. It was like a psychedelic.
Like
Psychedelic.
It was SYKAA.
uppercase, lowercase.
DE.
AOL.
Oh my God. And we were so.
So do you remember? It sounds like you've been drawing for the longest.
Yeah.
Art's just kind of been your shit. I have to ask you, just kind of off topic. Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
Interesting. They say that left-handed people are, have that
Creative.
Yeah, super creative.
Yeah.
Jen, are you left-handed?
Yeah.
Are you left-handed?
Look at you guys all of us against the grain.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're right-handed. I'm right-handed. We're all right-handed. My daughter's left-handed, and she's just creative in like anything she does.
That's dope.
I think left-handers are like creative, but also very intelligent. I think that's the
jury's still out. No, she's
I'm not
very
very
smart.
smart.
She's very smart. They actually said that left-handed people have a shorter lifespan. We talked about this, right?
I started left-handed, and because in school, they made me go right.
Damn.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know. But then when I'm eating, like my spoon will be here, and my fork will be here. like I'll switch it up. Like my dad called me out on it, but it was just because everything was right-handed for everyone. So.
Right, and I think that's why they have a shorter lifespan, because they're basically living in a right-handed world,
Right.
Right.
Left. Right.
So, do you remember? You're saying that you didn't do any consignment, you didn't make any money in high school. Do you remember that first drawing or that first assignment that you actually made? Like, it didn't have to be like thousands of dollars, but just something that you made money.
I think it was from the high school.
Uh-oh.
I think they.
From the high school.
Yeah, I think they.
You designed a yearbook?
Yeah, I was on the yearbook. I was in yearbook class. I did 2 yearbooks. No, I think it was a flyer or something for a school dance, and they paid me. Like they paid me. It was like my first check, and it's like the old school checks that you get from. It wasn't like
She went to Bal,
Reddit.
y'all. She went to Bal in like when Bal was Bal.
When Bal was Bal.
Not Balboa.
Yeah.
It's Balboa now. Bal was Bal.
Yeah, we didn't have tests to get in. No. You just had to live
It was
in
just like a test
district.
of strength. Hey, break these bricks. Let's see if you can get to class.
Can you bend these bars? Good. Then you can go in because you can't get out till
Exactly. Try to pick this lock. All right, that's your locker.
Your locker. Yeah, it was. You know how like it wasn't like a handwritten check. It was like the typed out ones. I felt so official. I was like, I like this feeling.
It's like $50 only.
Do you remember your first art show
My first art show.
that you threw?
Oh.
Okay, my first one was I had to do it for college. Right, they you have to do like a solo art show as one of the requirements, and I threw it at my apartment.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I didn't know that you could do that, and then I found out one of my classmates did it, and I think the criteria was that you had to have invite people, have a certain amount of pieces up, and then people write reviews or whatever, critiques or something like that. But it was in Santa Cruz. It was in our apartment, and
Go banana slugs.
Yeah, go banana slugs. But the first real one, I think that I put on, I think I was 25. That was my first.
In the TL?
solo. No, it was at Mighty.
Hey, I fucking love Mighty God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had so many memories there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that with Jerry?
No.
With Jerry was in there. He was at the second one.
He was in the group one that I curated.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't like a solo one, but that was my solo one at Mighty.
Wow. What year was this?
I don't know. I don't know. When was I 25? It was like
2010.
almost 20. Yeah. Yeesh.
2010.
Look at this
Ish.
good math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. At Mighty, and that was like in the prime,
Ish.
mind you, in the prime
It
of like
was-
the Bay Area life, nightlife.
Oh man.
Pre-IG.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-IG.
Pre-social media. Maybe MySpace.
Maybe I think MySpace,
Maybe
Facebook,
MySpace.
Facebook was there.
Maybe MySpace.
Facebook just started rolling, I think,
Yeah.
but it was all about my
Just for college students, though.
And aunties who like for a prayer.
The Facebook, though. It was called The Facebook.
So you did that at Mighty. You're from the Bay, right? You grew up, born and raised in the Bay?
No, I was born in Guam.
Oh.
I was born in Guam, and then I moved to the Philippines, lived there for a while, and then I moved here
Oh, well, how old?
when I was 7, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
When did you were you drawing like in Guam or?
Yeah, my dad's an artist, so he and my mom are entrepreneurs. Like they own their own businesses. And my dad owned a auto body shop.
Yeah.
He was one of the main auto body shops on the island. And so the whole house was filled with like art stuff, paint, random car parts. He was always painting on cars.
That's sick.
Calligraphy and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So he also did designs for a lot of the businesses on the island. And
Guam.
then in Guam.
Like
And
their
so-
business signs.
Like business signs. He was a sign maker also.
Jan does that too.
Yeah?
The sign maker. By
Man.
paint.
Yeah.
By paint.
Paint.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes,
hand.
by hand. It was by hand. Everything
Paint
was
with
by
his hand. Yes.
Yes. That's how paint is. That's how paint is
that's how-
applied.
that's how
Not
it
Mario
works.
paint. No.
Hey, I used to make some dope beats on that.
That's
Anyway,
still with
That
your
was
hand.
fun. So one of the first things I learned from my dad, so we have this thing called a laddie stone on Guam. Ancient Chamorros used it to keep their houses up, out of the water and stuff like that. They would put huts over it. It was made out of like concrete. So anyway, it's a Guam symbol at this point already. He taught me how to draw that. I remember that was my first thing that I ever drew.
how old were you?
Like the Baja Kubo, pretty much.
It's like the Baja
But on
Kubo,
stilts?
but on the laddie stone, how it looks like a holy grail. Like it looks like
yeah. And then there's like the moon, right? Is it the moon? Or like
no, it's like a wine glass, but it comes out on the and then. Oh. Yeah, I wish I could draw it for you, but.
I mean, you can.
Some other time.
Yeah, exactly. Some other time, not right now. We're drinking absinthe.
Yeah.
Kind of. I
Oh.
don't think you've actually sipped it yet, but.
No, not yet. I'm gonna put it in here so that you guys can try.
So you said no, don't worry. There's more. So you said that your dad was an entrepreneur. Your mom also was an entrepreneur.
Yeah, she had when we moved here to San Francisco, she had one of the first Filipino video stores.
Yo.
On
Excelsior.
mission.
Yep,
On
yep.
mission.
What was it called?
It was called D Cruzette Video.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it fucking
Yeah,
was.
D Cruzettes.
Did you ever run anything from there, Gus?
No, because we went to the one that was. Because
What was it?
he had Bomba, the one down the
Oh,
street.
you guys didn't have a beaded section?
No, it was a very small, humble video store in the Excelsior.
right next to Burger King, right?
Yeah, eventually it did, but
R.I.P.
it was inside first of it's kind of like a warehouse for Filipino stuff,
Yeah.
Filipino food, and she was in the back. When we first moved here, she made a deal with the owner,
Yeah.
and they would give her space. So she was there for maybe like a year, and then after that she would move up and go to a different space that would open up down the block, and then move up from there. So she was inside like beauty salons. They would give her a corner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then she moved into, do you remember Kadoks on
Yes, I
Mission?
do remember Kadoks.
So that used to be also a beauty salon, a really big beauty salon. So she rented the back. So there would be a window and people would, when they were waiting for their haircuts and stuff, they would go to the back, rent
Pick
a
out
video.
some videos.
Yeah, and then after that, she finally got her own place next to it. That small, like, I think it's a smoke shop now.
Probably, or like an insurance store.
Yeah, right behind the bus stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get to work at the video store?
I did. I was 10 years old.
What was the percentage of people actually rewinding the video?
I don't know the percentage, but that was a lot of my job. So not a lot of people rewinded
Was
videos.
it was the biggest, like the best sellers, like Filipino movies?
Oh yeah, it was all
Yeah.
Filipino movies.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't put in American movies until
Best of the best.
the last year before she closed the business. But it was like what movie was it? I think Wayne's World. Was there something
that's
like
your
that?
shit too.
Yeah.
That's
like
your
Wayne's
shit too.
Dude, we would watch all the videos, all the Filipino videos before they would be put in the store. So me and my sister know our Filipino movie stuff. So
Michelle's dad was actually one of the photographers for Jack and Jill in America.
no way.
And one of Michelle's cousins was actually in the movie.
The fact that you even know that movie.
Jack and Jill was my shit, though.
Oh my God.
I have
Google
no
that.
idea
The
what
Filipino
is.
shit.
I will Google that.
Google that.
Oh, wow.
We was woke early.
Stay woken.
Yeah, we was
Stay
with the shits.
woking.
We was Filipinos were with the shits early. Right?
Yeah.
Man, I remember when my mom used to take us to like her beauty shop. All we used to walk out of there was like a bootleg Tommy Hilfiger shirts. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And it's even Adidas, and you're like, oh, Adidas, but then it has like a Fruit of the Loom tag, and you're like, hold the fuck.
I used to sell those out of my locker in high school. Not at Jeff, but the school I was with before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my mom would have like a wholesaler's license, and she would just buy this stuff super cheap.
Yeah.
And she was like, if you sell it for 15, you can keep 5. So I just sold it for 15. It was like Tommy Hilfiger, and it's all embroidered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Nike, and it's all embroidered, and it's like all on the same blank.
Yeah. All on the same blank.
All the same windbreaker. It'd be like Rockaware, but then it's like it has like a Nautica tag. You're like,
Yeah.
don't,
Well, I
don't
didn't
worry
know they
about
had
it.
in that same colorway as the other company.
Don't worry about it. It's a
But,
bonus.
but knowing
best time.
fashion is probably like cyclical, right? So those actual bootleg shirts, the ones that they're probably like worth a lot, right?
Yeah, they're worth a lot now.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy. Like
it's so
how
weird.
fashion is with vintage and
So
everything.
weird, yeah.
Do you guys remember Spoofs Unlimited?
No.
It's a Filipino brand. Jan, you know what I'm talking about? It was a Filipino brand, and instead of like polo, it would say, where's Polo? The Polo logo? It say Bolo.
Yeah.
And he's holding like a machete. Or instead of saying Tabasco, it say Tabaco.
That's big in the Philippines.
It's
Yeah.
very Filipino like humor, right? Of like
Yes.
taking it and making it our own. And
Right.
I thought Spoofs Unlimited was
Hella
dope.
funny.
They used to
yeah.
sell stuff like that at like Miller's Outpost, right? Instead of it saying like Polo Sport, it'd say Poor Sport.
I like that one though.
Yeah, I did too.
like
I got down with all that shit, man. Breakdown shirts, hypercolor shirts where if you touch it, it'll change colors. That's like Pacific Sunwear early shit.
I couldn't do that because my pits get hot.
Yeah, I couldn't do that because I was.
But it was
I've
heat
always been
activated?
rounder.
I don't
it
think I
is,
ever had that.
It would always be activated.
That's like the Great America gear, right?
Easy, Great America gear, and you'll get a painter's hat that had a tail.
Yeah.
So your neck doesn't get ripped burned. Wow.
That was Great
Those are
America in
cool,
the
man.
heyday when they used to actually. That was Paramount's Great America, right?
Paramount.
Yeah.
That would be the only few places that I knew I could get an airbrush shirt, but it's just like your name done in the like 8 different colors around it. I was like, this is so
nice.
whack.
I can't really smell it, but I'll pretend like I smell
Nah,
it. No, my allergies. Yeah, sorry.
Smell it.
no.
Does it smell like alcohol?
It's like licorice almost.
Yeah.
Like licorice.
Hey, you want to reach in and get me one of those?
Oh.
I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah.
Why'd you just,
Wait, you finished yours already?
Yeah, I did. They're called mini bottles for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, let me taste this then without chaser.
I am okay right now.
So, yeah, that's crazy. I think that's amazing that you continued on with your art, right? I'm sure there were times that you felt like you're like, fuck this, you know?
Dude, art is hard.
It is.
It's hard for artists, and I think I didn't know that as a kid because I grew up, with an artist dad, and I grew up with a entrepreneur mom. So it didn't seem out of reach for me. It just felt so natural. But it wasn't until high school when, they make you take those career tests and stuff like that. And then you start to see the other stuff that the other kids get.
Yeah, like
Then you kind of feel like, am I, is this? But it didn't
You were
hit.
studious though, because you went to Santa Cruz, right?
Yeah.
You graduated, like you went through the
what was
whole
your major?
Art.
What was your second?
I minored in education.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
she'll teach y'all.
I tried teaching, dude.
Did you?
Yeah.
I hated it. So I grew since high school. I was like, I'm gonna get into education. I want to make a change because went to Bal. So I was like, I knew what it was like to have not have a lot of stuff.
Bal in the
going to
90s,
school.
80s and 90s was wild.
It's like
was
a
wild.
Dangerous Minds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was all walk through the.
Yes.
But when I got to actually teaching, I was like,
Fuck these kids.
dude, these kids are different. Like, first of all, I'm short, right?
Yeah.
And I looked a lot younger, so I looked like I was one of the middle schoolers. How did they even respect me?
Yeah.
So I remember my first class, they didn't know I was a teacher. They thought I was a student, was just standing there by the teacher's desk. And I remember this one time I had to take this kid's phone away. Dude, he almost got violent. I was like, I don't know. I didn't know that culture, because we didn't have cell phones in high school.
Oh, how you teaching high school?
Yeah. Well, no, it was middle school, but we didn't have phones in high school.
Oh, yeah,
So to
yeah,
have
yeah.
phones for these kids, they look so young. They had phones in middle school, and it was.
You didn't have
hard
a
for me
pager in middle school?
No, I didn't have. I didn't have a
yeah.
pager
I had a
till
pager in middle school.
high school. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
junior, senior, high school.
I had a pager middle school, fifth grade. I had a
Wow.
pager. Yeah. And my mom
For
was like, "Why do you want? Just a page."
Yeah. I want the good morning texts.
Yeah.
The pages.
That's the two. I know two. I'm bilingual. Okay. Anyone asks, I'm bilingual. I speak amazing English and I know pager code. A lot of people don't know pager code.
We created a language.
We did.
I'm
We
also good at
created a
cursive.
language.
Can these new kids say they can do cursive? No.
Yeah, dude, I saw a video the other day, and it was someone writing in cursive, and it said, "Guess what this says."
Oh wow.
I saw the comments. It blew my mind. I was
But
like,
it is kind of like.
I'm not that old. Am I old? They
But
don't
cursive
teach
is
this in
like
school?
more of an art. right?
1993
But it
was
was-
30 years ago,
It was,
guys.
it was required.
It was required.
Required, dude. And you know what it said? It said cursive.
My cursive
Technically,
is so whack.
Yeah. It was
cursive
required,
is
but
so
also
whack.
they used to require separate water fountains. So,
I didn't know you couldn't put your mouth on the water fountain until I got a little older.
Oh no.
Yo, relax,
Dude.
bro.
I want it all.
Because I want it all.
I want it all. Brand new socks and
Every
drops.
last
Nah,
drop.
man, you gotta appreciate a man who likes to stay hydrated.
Thirst.
That the thirst is real.
Thirst.
Speaking of
So
which,
I wanted to ask you, you did say that that's one thing that you walked away from your college experience is that they try to define you by one type of art.
Yeah.
What can you expand on that?
She can rap, y'all.
that was random.
Oh, shit.
I got that from college too.
I'm not gonna call her a rapper, but she can rap. You know what I mean? Because she's not gonna call herself a rapper because she explores all the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of her art. Shout out to Asteroid Rising.
Shout out.
Nice.
Sergeant.
Talk about that later. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I had a hard time in college, to be honest, and I don't know if I came in with a chip on my shoulder.
Why? What caused that?
Well, going to Bal. Okay, so Bal had kind of had an art program. Not the all 4 years that I was there. But when they did have an art program, I couldn't get in. All my friends got in. At first, it was like limited whatever, and I couldn't get in for like 2-3 years straight.
Wow.
So everything that I knew at that point was self-taught.
Okay.
So when I went into college, and one of my first classes, everybody there came from a high school that had an art program. They knew what charcoal was. They knew how to hold it.
Right.
They knew what graphite was. They knew how to use a kneaded eraser.
Yeah.
They knew the names of all these things, and I didn't. And that's not something that they went over in the class. So
Right.
when they started teaching, it's as if I was already supposed to know that, and I didn't. So every time I went to class, I didn't look forward to it. So
You felt
I had,
like behind.
I felt behind. I felt betrayed by the education system. I felt betrayed. I was like,
Wow.
I got here on my own merits, and my high school did nothing for me.
So
You know what
in
I mean?
college though, did you? I mean, obviously after college you succeeded, but I mean, like during college, did you end up were you able to kind of be on their level?
Oh yeah. I think
Seated.
Yeah, so this is basically like this is like
Seated.
you're like what's his name in Drumline. You know how you couldn't read music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was natural, but I think it was natural for a lot of them, and I think because
You're Nick
they knew their I'm Nick Cannon.
yeah, you're Nick Cannon in Drumline.
They knew their tools and I didn't, and I felt behind. But it wasn't just that. It was like, and I don't know, it's whatever to say it now, but back then I would look around and I noticed I was the only female of color, only person of color. And we would have these lectures, right, where everyone sits in a hall and then the teacher gives a lecture. Then they separate you into smaller sections where you're supposed to talk about whatever the topic was.
Right.
And so these smaller sections maybe had like 10, 15 people. And I was always the only person of color. And so when they would have questions that were related to, you know, urban whatever, ethnic whatever, I kid you not, this one day, I forgot what the question was.
Yeah.
And it was about being a person of color or something like that. And the whole class looked at me. And I will never forget that day. And I will never forget that feeling. And I was just like, I looked and I was making eye contact with everybody. That's how I knew they were all looking at me.
Right.
And then so the teacher looked at me too. And I was like,
Did you feel you didn't belong?
Hell yeah, I felt like I didn't belong. Because the arts program, they have different colleges in the university, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the art colleges was Porter, right? And usually if
Sorry, it was what?
It was called Porter College.
Porter, okay.
So if you were an art major, a lot of art majors went to that college. Mm-hmm. I didn't go to that college. I went to Oaks. Shout out Oaks. A lot of the students of color went to Oaks. So whenever I went to class, which would be at Porter College, it was all these petite people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I had no friends in my classes.
Yeah.
I didn't, nothing,
No one tried to like befriend you or anything?
No.
That's so crazy thinking because
everybody
it's like,
had a friend already.
But it's kind of crazy thinking that it's like a UCSC, right? Because Santa Cruz kind of boasts, right? The whole like, yeah, we're laid back.
That's what I thought.
Right,
it was one of the reasons why I wanted to go there, because of the diversity. But I didn't realize how big that college was, and then the major, and then who you take the classes with. And I remember my senior year, one of the teachers, we had this like, one of the requirements, I guess, it was like you're supposed to make a collection of something like that. Yeah. And they would go around and critique, and I would get so scared during critique because I would get criticized so badly, right? You have to
by the teacher or by the student?
By the teacher.
Wait, so you were being singled out?
I mean, no, because everyone else was getting critiqued, but you really have to have thick skin to get these critiques,
right? And
then go back and then take that critique and turn it around somehow.
Yeah.
But I felt singled out because, one day I was like, maybe I'm just, noticing things, making things that aren't there, right? Until one day, we each had personal time with the teacher, and I was really confident. I was really excited. I came to her. You get to pick your own topic for your senior project or whatever, and mine was I wanted to do watercolor illustrations based on photos and concept of street children in the Philippines, right? So a lot
That's
of
fucking dope.
Yeah, they go unnoticed. So the street children that I drew, they had butterfly wings, like to fly them out of their situation and stuff like that. It was my way of informing people that weren't exposed to that. And she had harsh words to say about it. She said it wasn't thought out. She said that this and that, and that I rushed it. And it wasn't just about my art. It was like the concept that she criticized. So
She was
white? Yeah, she was old with that lady. And so when I left,
you hit us with the sound.
Oh no.
So when I left with that. Like I left with that sort of anger and sort of determination to,
like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah. That was gonna be my next question. But go ahead, Jen.
Do you think it was because you were too ahead or like outside of the box?
Might be. So I remember this.
Outside of the box.
One day she took us to her art studio, and I got to see her art. I'm like, let me see what this lady's talking about, because she's always criticizing me. And then
like Happy Meals.
I
don't know why that was funny in my head, but
I'm not criticizing her artwork, because there's a lot of artists that do great work the way she does too. But they were just like, dots put together, and they kind of look like corn cobs, corn cob painting. But I looked at it, I was just like,
That's a rip of like Andy Warhol, right?
I was pretty young, so I wasn't embracing the abstract ideas. But I looked at it, I'm like, come on, man, like for real. And
do you think you weren't the only one that felt that way when you went there? Like, could you see, like, as you're looking at it, like other people are probably looking around you, and you're looking at other people's faces. do you feel like they also felt the same thing? Like,
I don't know, dude. I questioned that a lot because in my senior year, there was only one other Filipina girl that was there, and she was doing amazing, and she didn't seem affected by, like, you know, and I don't know what high school she went to. I forget.
that
so
could
I
be
think,
it though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
She's not like Northridge
She's not
or
inner
something.
city. You know what I mean?
Like I came in with that inner city kid chip on the shoulder, like, you know, world's against me. I gotta, you know, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe like the whole imposter syndrome all the way from the start. It was already like that.
If you think about it though, right? Art is probably not the best class in college to have another artist teach. Because if you figure that out, it's like, unless these artists who do teach in college are very passionate about teaching, like how you minored in education, they're jaded,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they'll just kind of like spread that hate.
They
you know
can
what I'm saying?
they can be self-absorbed, I would say, into their.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I do art, you know, this
look
is
at
how
this-
I
yeah,
learned
look at this
it.
corn
is
cob.
Yeah, look at this corn cob painting. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I did
It's
have really
gluten-free.
good art teachers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really one amazing art teacher. I'll never forget her. So
In college?
You know, in college.
Nice.
Yeah. So it wasn't all bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember going to her art shows, and there was one in particular that I went to was it in Tenderloin,
In the TL.
and it
Which
was
one
two, it was 2 floors. It was you, Jerry was there. Shout out to Jerry the
Oh
Maker.
yeah.
I don't know who else showed.
It was Creative Instinct. Yeah. That was, I think that was my first one that I curated, first group one.
And it was sick because she had all different mediums. Like we had someone that painted on shoes.
Nice.
And shout out to Jerry. That's your cousin.
That's my cousin.
Same last name. You know what I mean? And then I remember going to these and I was like, wow, this is cool. And then I just, you know, this is probably like 10 years after we met and seeing her evolve. And that's after college, right?
Right.
That was after college. And just seeing how you progress from just being this kid I would bum to make flyers for me to like starting her own, like having her own art show doing this. And I was like, wow, this is the thing. People are really doing this. And she even had like a bartender, like she made money off the bar, like straight entrepreneur to where she put it all together. And then she walked away with that because like she slapped everything together. That shit was dope. And then we did a thing called Cultivate.
Yeah.
Let them know what Cultivate is, Jerisa.
Cultivate is the original undiscovered.
Holy shit. So you're saying
No-
that?
no
hold on.
shade.
So you're
I
saying that
mean-
we have the original We Eatin' out here and the original Undiscovered?
Yes. But you know, I don't even want to say the original undiscovered because undiscovered has
its
evolved
own
into
thing.
its own thing. It's its own thing, and I love it and I support it. But I mean, just for those who don't know Cultivate, it's a good comparison. So you understand. It was the first, I would say, night market, art market.
Fashion show,
Fashion
performance.
show, yeah. So we had fashion. We had a fashion show during the whole thing. We had performances. We had food. We had the people come out with their food carts and food tables. Then we had an art show at the same time, all happening at the same time at a club, not outdoors in a parking lot or anything. It was a nice club. It was a popular club, and we would promote it up the ass for real.
Yeah, it was all us.
Hey, Gus, did you get to do your flyers?
She did her. She
I
did a
did
flyer.
flyers. I did the logo and the flyers.
And
Yeah.
Full circle.
This is a time when I was transitioning into the streetwear with my brother-in-law, and I wanted, like, I looked at it and like there wasn't really like an avenue for like streetwear to do like fashion show, and I was like, let's just create one. And Jerisa was the first person I thought of, and then we linked up with Raina. Shout out to Lady Ray.
Lady Ray.
And then we did the first one at Azul.
Oh, damn.
And Azul,
Yeah.
Azul's super like straight and compact, and
That is a small runway.
It was narrow.
Jerisa, like the stairs downstairs that goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerisa had all the models changed, so everyone just throwing their clothes and they're in bras and panties, and it was right there. Like you can look down and you see everyone just changing right there. And then Jerisa had that whole thing on lock to where the second time we did it, she was like, "Tell these motherfuckers to bring their own models," so she didn't have to do it again. But yeah. It was.
I cannot, till this day, I cannot believe how we pulled it together. Like, that is your brainchild, and you brought in the right people, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I think
just
we
know
did
to fuck
3.
with.
We did 3.
We did 3.
Yeah.
was live.
When was the last
That's
one?
amazing. Dang, I don't even remember, to be honest.
12?
2012?
No, I want to say, yeah, you're right. 2012.
When was your last art show?
Oh, I don't remember. It's been a really long time. I think it was Creative Instinct, the one he was just talking about.
That was like.
I think we need another one.
I
It
think
was
it's
like-
well.
it was
That's
20
the thing too. Like, I'm sorry, 20 what?
Yeah, it was 2010, I think, or 2008, and then I moved. That's why.
Oh, where'd you move
I
to?
moved to Idaho.
Oh, what the?
Because the recession happened, and
Ah,
then
right.
I was working a regular 9 to 5, and when I came back, because I think it was necessary. I didn't find a good job out there, but it was necessary. That's how I got myself up from my bootstraps and started my own design firm, because I never wanted to
Wow.
be unemployed again.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause that was a big deal. I never got laid off in my life before.
A dental assistant, right? Were you
No, I was a graphic designer. I got laid off from there. But before that, I was a optometric technician.
That's what it was. just quick pivot, because you talk about fashion. When Karma Loop was around, me and Jerisa brainchild a design. I still have it on my eBay page, like the design of it. It was the United States of Hip Hop. Is that what it was?
Something like that.
That sounds very
Wow.
Karma Loop.
We had a lot of projects together. That's so cool. I love it.
Nah, and then like working with her is very easy, because it's like you would be like, all right, this is what I envision, this is what I see, and then she would put it to work, and then and we even wanted to do shirts that said money. Do you remember those shirts?
Yeah, and it was the different currency.
And then she would do her own silkscreen out of the garage.
Oh wow.
I had my own.
That's
But
pretty-
yeah,
that's
that
pretty
only
dope.
lasted for so long because it was so much work.
Yeah.
And I was still working a 9 to 5, so.
I mean, that's funny though, right? Because it was kind of like the being raised in the inner city, right? That kind of put your chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
That lasted even past college.
Yeah.
And even when you went to wherever it was in Idaho, which is outside of the inner city, you eventually came back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird out there.
How long were you there for?
I was only there for maybe a few months. Maybe
Damn, that weird, huh?
4 or 5. I mean, I was there with my cousin, and I was, and she was nice enough to put me up and, help me. And I thought, like, I wanted to get out of the city and see what's out there. But, it wasn't weird. It just was
Wasn't you.
weird. It wasn't me. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It didn't have what I was. It wasn't developed yet. If you go to Idaho now, Boise,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's come a long way. But back then, it was like cornfields, man.
And I'm pretty sure there's a
Like-
lack of inspiration, especially for an artist, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you want to do like dot painting of cornfields.
Oh yeah. Whoa, cornfields? Are you talking about a whole field of corn cobs?
Oh my God, there's
Yo.
a theme.
You want to run backwards through a corn cob with no pants on?
Hey man, I heard Brock Lesnar eats corn the long way. Anyways,
Long way.
so yeah, I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Just kind of going through that inner city life, right, and then coming back to it.
Yeah, it was such a culture shock.
Did you do you think that throughout your entire journey you've kind of like honed it in, you've kind of accepted it and kind of turned it to a positive? Like I'm sure you find a lot of beauty in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of pride of where you grew up, no
Yeah.
matter even if it was in the inner city.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I grew up here my whole life, so there's a love for the nostalgic San
Yeah.
Francisco. I don't have love for where it's at now. Like when I go downtown,
Speak on
it breaks my heart. Like it really breaks my heart.
And that's I mean, like
because you missed Planet Hollywood.
Shut up.
I think it's because I miss the Rainforest
Planet
Cafe.
Hollywood. Rainforest Cafe.
Because if there's something I
Dare.
want when
I
I'm
miss
eating jerk chicken wings, it's I want to hear rain.
I want to see a gorilla wink at me.
Yeah, exactly.
As I'm eating like frings.
I mean, but that's true though, and I think that's one of the reasons why I asked. That's why I asked to see like when was the last art show you did, because I feel like as an artist you had to pivot, right? You can't
Yeah.
just stick to doing the art shows because that the soul of San Francisco is not the same.
It's not the same, and honestly, if you're an unknown artist, that's not where the money's at.
Didn't you work with Nick Lachey?
Oh no, Jeff Timmons, 98 Degrees.
98. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a cool story.
Oh, shit.
So when I went to Idaho, and this is why I say it wasn't a
I
waste
thought you were
of
gonna put your
time.
glasses on for the story. I was like, oh fuck.
Okay. No, I'm nearsighted. If I put this on, I'm gonna be cross-eyed. When things are too close, I'm like,
What side?
But yeah. So when I went to Idaho,
Yeah.
it wasn't a waste. So when I couldn't get jobs and when I wasn't getting replies back, I stayed online to, still be active. You don't want people to forget you, right?
Right, of course.
It doesn't matter where you live. You just don't want people to forget you.
Yeah.
So this was like the height of Twitter. Everybody was on Twitter. All the celebrities were getting on Twitter. You could get a reply back from your favorite celebrity.
Not anymore.
And that just blew my mind. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm talking to Spinderella. Like, never in a million years. So I saw somebody. He was a manager of a music music company, and he was like, I need a website. Somebody hit me up. I need a website for my group. It was newly formed, I think, at the time. And then so I saw who he was managing, and I was like, God, I'm nobody. He doesn't know me. I don't have like a solid portfolio. So I got into private messages. No. I tweeted him. I said, I will do this website for free if you give me the chance. If you asked me to do a free website now, hell no, I don't do nothing for free. But back then, first of all, I didn't have a job.
Right. Living in Idaho.
I was living in Idaho.
Yeah.
I didn't have a solid portfolio yet. All I had was like club flyers and T-shirts, and times were changing. No one's going to take you seriously if that's all you had.
Right.
So I told him, I'm going to make you this website for free if you give me the chance. And then he hit me up in private message, asked me for my email. So we went back and forth, asked me for my number, went back and forth. And then he was like, you got it. I'm like, oh my God, wait, is this really happening? So I sent him a mock-up. Oh, I asked him what he wanted, right? What he was looking for. And then I sent him a mock-up. It was only one concept. And then he said, you got it. You got the job. And then I was freelancing for him. I was basically contract. And after that, I became more of a regular. So he was managing at the time Eric B. and the Fat Boys and JJ Fad. And through him, I got to call these people sometimes. So
You're like, what background color do you want?
or he would have people hit him up and say, oh, I need a website, right? Because websites were getting bigger at that time. And he would straight up give them my phone number. And they would say, okay, the sad part is because no one believes in a female graphic designer and web designer back then. There's no oomph in that for some reason. He told them my name was Jerry. So they thought it was a dude. And that when I found that out,
That's unfortunate here on International Women's Day.
Yes, but no, it's a good thing because
He got you the money though.
He got me the money. I mean, it was against my principles,
But you didn't know that.
Huh?
But you didn't know that.
I knew later on when I found out that he was telling people that my name was Jerry and that I was, he didn't say, oh, straight up, she's a dude. He would just say Jerry, and they would automatically,
It's like Mulan.
They would automatically assume that I was a dude. So when I found that out, because he had to give me a heads up because I had to call somebody. When I found that out, I was upset. I was like, how am I going to do this? First of all, I need the money. I like the job. But I got principles, So my solution was I was going to call them and I was going to do a damn good job that they would never question what, the gender of designers.
And is that what you did?
And that's what I did. So
You
I
never had to change your voice or anything like
No.
that? That's tight. That's
Hi,
fucking dope.
my name's is Jerry.
My name's Ping. That's another fucking Mulan. I always reference Mulan here. I don't know why.
Now you make me want to watch it so I can have references too. But yeah, and that's how it went along to a point where I didn't have to be Jerry anymore.
And this is still in Idaho.
Well, the beginning part, maybe like
then
the
you came
first
back
few
over here.
months, and then
Yeah.
I came back here and I kept working for him. And I had great opportunities and I met great people and it gave me a good, list of clientele, and some of them I still work with today.
Damn.
But I had to stop working for him, because
Because of his approach.
Because of his approach, I don't like bad mouthing,
Yeah.
but I grew out of it,
Yeah.
I'm very
Chippendales, right? You
very,
did shit for Chippendales through him?
no, it was Men of the Strip.
Men
It
of
was
the-
like
Thunder from Down Under?
It was an evolution of the Chippendales because it was, because Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees,
Yeah.
he got into this whole thing called Men of the Strip. And then they did a reality show on E!
Oh.
And so it was like the reality show was a behind the scenes of these guys they put together, audition together, and would go do these shows.
Yeah.
And that was a reality show. So I did. After that, they became like a group of a performance on Vegas, and so I did the graphics for that. Yeah, dude, I had my designs in lights. That was the first, when I saw that.
Yeah.
That must have been hella
Dude,
cool.
Like, we made it
in Las
Mama.
Vegas, dude. Billboards. I was like, I know my name's not up there, but that's a good-looking half-naked guy up there.
I'm fucking running right
Yeah.
now on the strip. I'm running
And
it's like
I
a straight
airbrushed
tagger.
that.
I'm running on the strip right now.
I mean, like,
Yeah, man.
you know, that sounds like there's been a lot of struggle in your entire journey to where you are now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, from college all the way to the fact that the guy who introduced you as Jerry, and still you succeeded by being who you are.
Yeah.
Like, all of that when you succeeded with that and they still worked with you, that must have been so reassuring.
Oh yeah. They kept on even if it wasn't through him, and that's, you know, I had to keep reminding myself that I belonged here. I have this seat at the table. I belong here. I worked my butt off. I don't have to prove anything to anybody except to myself, because, you know, but that's a constant thing I have to keep doing though. It's not like I told
Yeah.
myself once and then now I'm like freaking I'm set.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
like an everyday thing.
Yeah, I mean, who's actually happy and like content? They're like, oh, I'm not gonna try hard today, right?
Yeah,
especially
but, you know,
especially as a creative.
Yeah, you have to convince yourself that you're talented enough, good enough, and, you know, to be out there and offer your work, you know.
Jan, you got something?
I have a hard time with my name too, and my name is Jan. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a logo? It should just be your hair.
It's his face.
Yeah, it should just be your hair.
Right? It's your face on
But you
with
gotta,
glasses.
you gotta own it. You gotta own that name.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
decided. Like when I chose to do like a business name, I stuck with my name, my original name, Jan, and then Wayne and Swayze is not my name. So.
But it's catchy.
So it's like two truths
And
and
your
a lie.
name's still there.
Yeah, I wanted to stick with my original name. So
Yeah, which is always hard, right? Because, you know, to market yourself as you,
Yeah.
you know, like at first I had so many different names for my business and I thought it was just business, right?
Give us one like that didn't make it.
Well, no, it was an actual thing, but I changed it. It was Urban Basement. Because remember that? Because, you know,
I'd shop there.
I was doing all kinds of, you know, different styles of artwork. And then I think it was Paint Drip.
A lot of stuff.
Oh,
you
that
could
was
burn,
dope. I like
burn
Paint
that
Drip.
chomper
Paint Drip's
too.
dope.
Yeah, that was my first online store, Paint Drip.
That's
Yeah, it was like 2006 or something like that.
Urban
And
Basement. That's where I would call Tyrone from.
I think
Thank you.
I think I used that in one of the
Flyers?
stuff that we did together. It was Urban Basement.
Yeah.
And but anyway, after a while, it was like, you know, I wanted to be the brand.
Right.
You know, I was tired of creating this work that other people started. It started to get hard
Do you
working
remember?
with clients.
Do you remember our like sub brand that we were trying to create? What the name was?
Oh, vintage classic.
Instant vintage.
Instant vintage.
I like instant. That's
Dude.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
up.
And then
Yeah.
and then Raphael Sadiq
Yeah.
came out, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Way to go, Raphael.
I know.
Probably heard you. He's from the Bay.
Bay Area.
We see you, Raphael. We see how you move.
It sucks when someone else does it right and they're like more famous and you're like,
Yeah.
that was mine.
Like I rhyme. I was gonna name myself Pilo, and then there's like a Pilo.
Damn.
Psychedelic was SYK.
K A and then capital A DELLIK.
I love it when it's just phonetically spelled.
Well, you know,
That was your screen name too. On
That was my
AOL
screen name?
SMS. It was so great.
AOL.
You make a flyer for me.
Oh my god! And I put it on the flyer. How embarrassing.
So,
Amazing. Dude.
so you know, we were talking earlier, and you said that. Well, I told you that early FREE99 episodes. I remember hearing you trying to get your adult coloring book into fruition. Like you were trying to make it made. You're trying to make it come to
Yeah.
fruition. Now it's here.
I got one.
Yeah. So when did that
think it's-
actually release?
I think it's 4 years old now.
2019.
Wow.
Yeah, 2019.
2019,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just in time for the pandemic, where they actually needed to color stuff.
No, it was before that.
Yeah.
It came out September 2019, and then I was struggling, right, because I wanted to come out with a book, like an illustration
Yeah.
book, but I was like, let me get my feet wet. I just want to draw. I don't want to like write nothing because that takes longer. And so I just put together a coloring book that I think as a kid I always wanted.
Right.
But it ended up being, I wanted it to be called an adult coloring book just because it's a little bit harder, takes a little bit more detail or whatever. But it's for kids too. There's nothing bad in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, so there's not adult. Okay, yeah, let's
It's
make
not
that clear.
adult content,
It's not
okay?
adult content, okay?
What's your favorite design? What's your favorite design you have in that coloring book?
In that coloring book, I think it's towards the end. It's the chick, she's like, it looks like she's in a cafe and she's like this. And then she has like tattoos and one says Bossy Riot and it has like Tina from Bob's Burgers and Lisa Simpson.
That's it.
Yeah.
I always thought it was the girl wearing the mask.
Yeah, that's number 2.
Didn't your sister recreate that design?
She killed it, man.
Yeah.
She really surprised me.
Is she also an artist?
In her own right, yeah. She does really well with art, but she doesn't believe in her skills. But she's so talented. But
That
I
whole
think,
family's talented, like
oh
artists.
man, thank you. It runs in the book. My cousins, man, they're super talented. I have a niece that does her own jewelry. Shout out at Wifey's on Instagram. And at Jerry the Maker, my cousin, he also paints and customizes shoes.
So J
that's
Mac.
dope.
Yeah, dude.
I got some sketchers I want you to paint on.
You heard it.
Crocs.
Crocs. I got
Croc as
Crocs.
shit.
You could do. But yeah. And when it came out, I was like, I can do this. Okay.
Yeah. And that's what you do too. You also do like one of ones of like I saw that one denim jacket which is fucking tight.
Yeah, that's
Thank
sick.
you.
Yeah, and then you also have a beanie, right? That's not a one of one though, is it?
That's a one of one. So that collection's new because for my birthday I wanted to do something different. I've always wanted to do a project for my birthday that where I would donate a percentage to my charity of choice.
That's tight. I hella feel that because for my birthday I learned how to play mahjong.
Ooh.
No charity. I just
Charity is other people you're
yeah,
playing
exactly. The donation is to me because I beat y'all.
with. People you're playing with. What I want to ask. I wanted to ask you. Damn it. There was.
Drink this, it'll come back to
No.
It's not that bad. Although I
it's
feel pretty
very-
loose and my eyes hurt.
It's very minty.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.
There was. So speak about music. Jerisa did she was on an album last time I spoke to her. She was on an album way back, and this is during the pandemic, and she recorded it under a blanket.
Oh man, I knew you were gonna bring this up. It's a dope song
Spill
though.
it.
Shout out Memphis Reigns. I had this.
Memphis Reigns is a cool name, by the way.
It is such a cool name.
That is a cool name.
In college, I looked up to him. He was like, he had a rap group. I saw him perform. Me and my friends were like, oh, we're gonna get his album. We knew all the lyrics word for word. And then I didn't know him personally, but he was my friend's boyfriend at the time, but now they're married and stuff, have a kid.
Congratulations.
And he somehow he found me, I think, on Instagram, or no, I found him. I added him or whatever, and I was surprised, right? Because I'm a fan. He remembered me, and then he asked me to do a track. I said, "What?" It's kind of like, I was starstruck. I was like, I get to do a track with one of the musical idols, I guess you would say, at the time. So, and it was during the pandemic. He sent me the beat or whatever, and I didn't have, we were moving stuff around, so I didn't have like my microphone or whatever set up. And I was like, man, how am I gonna get this to him quick? Because you don't want them to lose, you don't want them to lose interest. So I was like, how am I gonna create like a sound booth and all that stuff? And I was like, okay, let me just do a rough. They're asking for a rough. Let me do a rough. So I wrote the verse, and I think it took me maybe a week. Because I was like really nervous, I was like, I want to impress him. I want to impress, I haven't written and I haven't spit in a really long time, so I want to do a good job. So I practiced and I did it on my phone and I edited, you have the phone apps or whatever that you can do that with. And I sent it to my friend who was the producer for that album. And then I was like, okay, let me send you a better one, right? So, because it sounded really janky. Mm-hmm. So I went in my closet, but you could hear the pipes, everything. And I was like, okay. So I went under the blanket and I did like 40, 50 takes. Oh my God, I was hella sweating. I was like, yeah. I hope they can't tell.
Hopefully it wasn't a weighted blanket.
It was kind kind of late,
Electric is
actually.
electric.
blanket. It's electric.
It wasn't on, but yeah, it had to be a thick blanket because you could hear. I would live in a city, you could hear sirens.
Yeah.
Right?
What's the name of the track?
It's called "Make It Happen." Yeah, so I sent them the rough, what I thought was gonna be the rough.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they sent me the whole track and were like, "We're just gonna use it."
Could you just spit it right now, real quick? Could you do like? Could you do?
I don't know if I could remember it, man. It was like it came out in 2020. Let me think.
Do you remember? Do you remember bars from a song you did do?
Maybe a really, really old one.
From on the CD I have the CD somewhere.
Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna pull something out, and if I just see it, I know I could remember it.
Jerisa was part of this rap group called Asterisk Rising, and then I really remember this. Did you design the cover?
Which? Oh yeah, I did. I did. Do
She
the cover.
designed the cover, but the back was all the members. And what I specifically remember is there's a guy there wearing a Warriors jersey and an LRG jacket.
He's a producer.
I vividly remember that because I was like, I have both those items. I could be a rapper. But I'm not a rapper. I'm not the creator. I like to surround myself around creators, so it makes me look creative.
You're a creator.
I don't know what
You're
I'm
a
doing.
creative in your own right. You have such amazing ideas, and I think you just need translators.
I have I align myself with people who speak me.
I
Right.
think the artist or myself, I consider myself the lucky one to work with you because I can't like think the way you do, you know. And you have the gift of gab. Let's just be honest.
Shout out to Jan and Rommel. You know what I mean? These are my peoples here, and he's
You
doing
have-
the Donnie Bravo.
You have the gift of gab, and I think that works great with you. Which one is? Oh, this is one of my really early ones.
Running deep into the dirt of the earth, and my birth came in between two worlds, in between two islands, my mind and my heart.
Two galaxies apart. Daddy was a rolling stone. I still call Guam my home when I penai till I die. And at the end of my life, I knew I lived for the love that which is you and I. I was
That's up.
20. I think I was 21 or something
So
like
that's
that.
so what?
This was dedicated to my mom.
That.
Yeah.
So that was 19 years ago.
2002, 2003. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sound so young.
Yeah.
So full of urban.
So full of urban.
You got Jan.
Is that track online? Like, can we search?
Yeah,
it?
I think it's online. Yeah.
That
it's
one?
on Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah.
What do we search?
Just look up Asterisk Rising. Or
Asterisk.
Pandora has its own channel now.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Pandora.
Yeah.
Remember when Pandora didn't have commercials, y'all?
I know.
Shout out to Peeb. He's the art director over there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Fact check me on that, Peeb, motherfucker.
Shout out to Asterisk Rising. Shout out to Remshot and Memphis Reigns.
What?
Oh, Memphis Reigns is actually from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
I just want
Hey.
to put that shit together right now.
I want to I want to welcome Ramel into the podcast
Hi.
today.
Hi, how are you? Hi, nice to meet you.
The absence been here.
You know, it activates late.
Apparently.
I remember Queen Latifah, like you did a stencil, right? Of not a stencil, I'm sorry.
No.
You did a freehand of Queen Latifah.
A portrait, yeah.
And she
It was
reposted it.
It was a charcoal, and no, it was Boyz II Men that reposted a drawing that I did. But
Missy Elliott reposted.
yes.
Missy Elliott.
Yeah. She did. Oh, I lost my shit, dude. That was the height of when celebrities first joined, and you could still, you know, message them, and they would actually see it.
Yeah, I saw the realism drawing of Prince, which is fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that was
love
actually
Prince.
that was the original drink idea. I was gonna pull up Prince's favorite drink. It's cranberry juice, gin, and blue Caracal.
What's a
Really?
caracal?
I don't know. What's a Caracal to you? Hey. I have no clue. They have it at Total Wine though. So
They do it?
yeah, they do.
As a mix.
I think it's a mix. No, you have to like buy all the separate ones.
Oh, I
you
thought they
ever-
had like a special Prince.
Did y'all ever watch Recess? The cartoon?
Yes.
Could you dress like
it's my
Spinozzi?
Spinelli.
Shout out to Spinelli.
Yeah, shout out Spinelli. That's my girl.
I've been thinking about that whole time you're next to me, and I was like, she look just like Spinelli right now. She's about to bully someone off the playground.
Oh yeah, dude, that's my girl, man. cut my hair too, but not like her.
So do you have any upcoming projects?
Oh yeah. This I wanted to bring this up. I think, and I don't know, this might be preemptive of me, but I'm really excited about it, and
Put
I
it
just
out
want to
there,
get it
though.
out in the universe for
Yeah.
it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
do it.
my producer friend Jeremy, or at Rimshot, he said that we were gonna have an Asterisk reunion.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I guess it's rising again.
It's Rising again, but I think they're called Rising Asterisk now. So I don't know if we're gonna keep our old name. But
Wait,
he
the old
said,
name was Asterisk Rising.
yeah.
And then
But
now
then
they're Rising
when
Asterisk.
I left the group, it became Rising Asterisk. Because I left the group in college, I think, to
got
do
it,
some
got it.
family stuff. So, but yeah, we might have a reunion. So he sent me a track that he said would be the track of my life, and I believe him. But
Bars.
it really depends if I got the bars for it.
I
So-
say if you do that, you should intertwine an art show out of it.
See, this is
So-
why I love you.
But then it would be on Instagram Live since you can have a further outreach.
That's true. Oh, it's different now, huh? Yeah.
You should intertwine that, because if you're bringing people to there already, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just kill two birds.
That would be so dope.
But
Yeah,
you
but
would
then
still-
I wouldn't be focused.
Yeah, you would have to also find that same blanket, right, to bring those creative juices.
You'd have to make it a sweater.
You're like rhyming
like,
under
I
another
can't- I
blanket. You're
can't
like, this isn't
perform.
it. This isn't it.
I need the blanket. I can't perform.
Cut a hole and make it a poncho.
And then you will go under the moniker of MC Blanket.
Oh,
Change my name.
blanket.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blanket, Michael Jackson's son.
Oh yeah.
So random, like we know him.
Shout out. Okay, this is so random. Shout out to that one reality show on Netflix that has a girl's name, and her name is Carousel. Yeah, but it's
Spell
spelled
it.
differently. It's like CAR.
Psychedelic.
No, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Very frenetic.
Oh my goodness. Like, you touch so many different mediums that it's so crazy to me that I know you. You know what I mean? Because of
What?
like your history and how you get down. Like when you did early flyers, you did a hairstyle of you did a lot of graph. Like
yeah.
who do you think that you try to mimic, or who'd you copy?
My brother.
Oh, that's
Fred?
so sweet.
No, Scott.
Is that
he,
right?
Yeah, he was an artist too, and he did a lot of graph. So
Was he?
I really wanted to be like him so bad. So he I think he had a international graffiti book, and it was like graffiti from all over the world. And then so I was really interested to see the ones from the UK. And that blew my mind because, you know, we're used to seeing like Brooklyn and New York and stuff. So the UK was over there and like, you know, graffiti from around the world. And so I think that really stuck with me. And then I remember he gave me that book, and it was like the Bible for me.
That's that.
Yeah.
Just studying the lines.
Just studying it. I don't even remember who they were. I was so young, but it was the lines, the color. You know, it wasn't just that too. It was just like the feeling. You know, you would see fire from the colors. You would see ice from the colors. You know.
What was your name that you started off writing?
My name? Oh, it was Jerisa.
I was gonna say that. Oh my god, bro! I was gonna say J something. I swear that's crazy. Because I was like, it has to be like a nickname of her actual name, right? So the J has to be there, obviously.
How'd you know?
Then, well, it's just.
What was yours?
What did I used to write? When I used to try to do graph.
Yeah.
Let me see. What was it? Oh, it was Falco. But it was like it was a FAL and then a C, but it was like a company. So it was like a.
Oh, like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jan, what was yours?
It was bean dip.
Bean dip?
Yeah.
EAN? Bean dip.
Because he's been dip.
Yeah, he's been dipped.
He's been dipping this shit, yo.
Mine was Kero, Kero.
Kero. Oh.
Because well, I'm not the original Kero. Someone took it because I like Keroppi, and that's the only reason. That's the only reason.
Yo,
why.
I have to say that's so crazy because I grew up around the era of like Keroppi, right? Did you know that he's like he's a retired Hello Kitty, like Sanrio?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
him and Tuxedo Sam, R.I.P. to the guy.
and then they have new ones like this one egg yolk.
Oh, I love that.
Gudetama.
That's just fucking wild, yo. Sanrio, you're fucking odd.
You're hitting them, man. Little
So
twin stars,
weird.
all the shits. I was Sunshine Station was the one in Ceremony. Sunshine Station.
Bad
It
Bats
always-
Maru
yeah.
was my.
Bad
my
It always
show.
smelled like fruit punch in there.
I would gaffle erasers and gum.
Wow.
Why were
Hey,
there
statue of limitation, all right? You're
Why
good,
were
bro.
their pencils so expensive? I was always so mad. I'm like, oh, this is a cute pencil, but
Because they wrote in
damn.
Japanese. You didn't know that?
And then the fact that you would come out and you, let me just put this bump one to the end and just keep doing that.
Man,
Sanrio. I thought, yeah,
times.
Karopi. Yeah, that was mine.
that was the origin story.
No,
You were at Sunshine Station one day.
it's funny
Stealing
though.
bubblegum and pencils.
Yeah, it's funny because like Jerisa hasn't like called out to me, but she calls me my government name because that's how like we've known each other. Like I didn't like talk about branding and naming earlier. I didn't like my government name. Well, I didn't like the name Gus. I preferred my government name because I thought Gus. It just didn't sound like me, but that was like my family name. But it just stuck. But Jerisa will call me by my government name, and you'll refer to me.
That's how you introduced yourself.
Yeah,
so that's how it's
all the
stuck.
homies like, and then somehow Gus just circulated full circle into that circle, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, when
I guess that's
someone-
my name now.
When I was working with somebody that you were working with, and they said Gus, I was like, who's Gus?
What is Gus?
Who that?
I had to explain it to so many people that had two names.
I'm somebody who calls people by their full name by how they introduce
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
I'll say their full name.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Some of my friends know, like, they think it's weird if suddenly I call them by their nickname. We're like, what do you mean?
Am
Who
I
are
in
you
trouble?
talking
Yeah,
to?
exactly.
Yeah.
is,
What did I do wrong?
is Halloween your favorite holiday?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Halloween.
What's your favorite Halloween costume that you and your husband have put together?
Ooh. Yeah, the Bundys.
Yeah.
Wait, like Ted Bundy or like Al Bundy?
Married
okay,
with
okay.
children, man. Dude, I could never top that. We even did Bob's Burgers. He was Bob and I was Tina, the Tina gif.
I saw that and I also saw your
Yeah.
caption. It was funny, yeah.
I was a little sober that day. But no, I mean, who does that and they're sober? I felt stupid the whole day. But yeah, dude, Married with Children. I was like, yeah, we should do this. I have the perfect wig and I had like the leopard print thing.
The best.
I puttied, so Al Bundy has like a receding whatever, right? So I did that to his head.
Oh, shit.
I put flesh colored putty on his head, and he walked around with his hand in his pants, holding a shoebox and giving out candy out of the shoebox. At the end of the night, it was time to get out of the costume. Dude, the putty would not come off.
Oh, shit.
It would not come off. I'm like, I'm sorry.
This is you now.
This is our life now. I was pulling out hair. I'm like, you might end up looking like him at the end of this night. But it lasted I think the putty was there for like a week.
Oh,
And he had to go to work, so every day it would just like a little bit would come
I
off.
thought it would last till like Thanksgiving.
Oh, dude, that was the best one.
Went from like an Al Bundy to like Nicolas Cage real quick.
Oh man, in a night. But you have some really good costumes. I love the costumes that you do. They're always handmade too.
my mom made.
Yeah,
most-
exactly. I was
my
like, not
mom-
by his hands.
My mom, yeah. I just, hey, this is a good idea. My mom would do them for me, so shout out to my mom. But yeah.
Shout out to your mom.
I guess Jerisa was right. You are a good creative director.
I don't know, man.
You got the ideas, you know, and you know how to verbalize them.
I like being surrounded by people who are creative because it forces me to get out of my comfort zone. Yeah, it's when you put yourself around people that are that you look up to, and it makes you want to elevate your game. You know, and Jerisa was always one of those people that I would see her create, and I was like, I wish I could draw. I wish I knew how to use Photoshop. I wish I knew how to use Illustrator.
It's not
Vector,
too late.
right?
It's not too late.
No. Y'all can. It's like people.
Handle
leave
that.
that to
Handle
you
that.
guys.
Handle that.
Like, I'm not a rapper. I'm gonna leave that. I like rap, but I'm not gonna rap. You know, I leave that to the professionals. You know what I mean? And
But you have rapped.
no, never. I've never rapped.
Liar.
I have never rapped. I rap to myself.
What would your rap name be?
Eric.
Oh, easy. Gustamus Prime. Because someone calls me that now, and I just like the name. Like I'm from the era of hip hop where you took names
and
kinda
intern it.
Yeah, kind of made it yourself.
Well, now you're obligated to be a rapper because that's a dope name.
Gustavus Pride.
What would your rap name be?
Probably before it'd probably be Brett Falco, and then now it's
That
probably,
was your name.
Yeah, I actually do rap.
You
yeah.
do? Well, hello.
Hi.
Let's talk about you.
Oh no, this isn't my.
Is your music on anywhere I can find?
Yeah, I think I have something with EMAS and
Emasin.
yeah, Emasin, and Rhymo with Android. It's
Shout out to Arnold.
It's on Spotify.
An album?
We did a track
You did an
together.
album together, the track
yeah,
together.
We did a track together. Yeah, and then I have all the other stuff like that's on SoundCloud with other people. I only just go on.
I
SoundCloud
would
rapper.
love to hear it. What is?
Yeah,
What
I'll
is it?
play you some
What's
afterwards.
your name? Oh, you're gonna give it. You're gonna.
I
forward it
can
to
play.
me.
Yeah, I can play some.
Cool.
He'll give you his headphone. Hey, I make music, sir.
Do you rap? And I don't know. What would your rap name be then?
What would your gang name be?
I think I would just stick with Swayze. So, but I think
Sick.
there's already a Swayze, right?
No, not that I know of.
In the music industry.
Is that the Swayze?
No,
Yeah, Swayze, right?
It's
But
Swayze. It's Swayze though because he's a dancer. He's a b-boy.
Because he's Swayze.
Oh, sick.
Concrete rocker.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why I don't rap because I'm taking up another like
Element.
hip hop element. Yeah.
Another element of hip hop. Oh, yeah.
If you were to make pies, what would your name be?
Wu-Tang.
Pies?
Yeah, he used to work at Marie Callender's, which is funny because his name's January.
I
That's the
love
first
Marie
month on the
Callender's.
calendar.
They have the best strawberry cakes.
Well, wait till you try their banana cream pie.
Hello.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like banana cream pie, but they're not around anymore.
Nations
Yeah.
has the best banana cream pie.
You could find them in the
Relax.
freezer section.
If you like Nation's
Nations?
hamburgers
Oh yeah.
with extra onions.
I love onions in my burger. I love onion burgers.
Ralph does too. He loves a lot of onions.
Yeah. You know what?
Has that bite.
Me and Michelle went to Nations recently, and she was like, "You want onions? I want grilled, and I want you want water? Take it."
There you go. Why don't you just grab another bottle? We have like 19.
Okay, you
Yeah.
you finish this then.
Yeah.
Just
So Michelle said, "What
You
kind of
can fill out
onions you
another
want?"
bottle.
I said, "I wanted
random.
random."
Yo, see, us rappers don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I'm still babysitting this one. I wanted a burger with.
You just got watermelon vodka.
I wanted grilled onions, and I wanted whole. I want grilled onions and whole onions, and they couldn't do it.
Why?
They only can do one. Well, because we did it online.
No, but you could also do that at In-N-Out though, right?
Oh yeah.
I saw somebody-
In-N-Out, you could do whatever.
I saw somebody like buy a burger and they had hella onions and the shit was like this big. Dog.
In-N-Out is not on any food services.
Yeah.
You really have to go there to get your shit.
Yeah.
Give it a
That's
shot.
the
Let's
one.
see how does that taste.
It smells delicious.
Shout out to everyone who got that Uber Eats settlement check.
Taste.
I wanted to ask
You can't smoke
a designer question
Designer question.
for the designer audience out there. What is your favorite medium and least favorite request from a client?
I'm sorry, I gotta go blow my nose away.
My favorite medium is always going to be ink, and then aerosol. It's been a minute since I picked up aerosol. Spray cans, but I think if I start doing aerosol again, that would move up to number one. But it'll always be ink. The worst thing I hate hearing from a client. There's so many. So they tell you what they want, right? And you're like, great, I can do that. Then you do a mock-up. You do sketches first, actually. What I do, sketches, because after a while, I learned that mock-ups, they take time and then they don't even want it. So then they see it and it's exactly what they want. And they're like, I love this. Let me show it to this other team member. You know what? We're going to go back and can you try? And then it's a whole different direction. Like, do you hate it? You know, one guy loves it, the other person doesn't. And then so they try to get you to meet in the middle to a point where it's like, this is a new project, man. Pay me different. You know, you're making me work 2 projects at this point.
Jan shaking
You know?
his head in agreement.
Yeah, there's just, man.
I call that the uglify stage.
The uglify. Yeah, is that one of your least favorite too?
Yeah, it's when like the design just like it loses its momentum.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like jump out of it and you're not into it anymore. And you just kind of want to like
You're gone. You're
get
done.
it done. Yeah.
I'm over the client at that point. I'm like, dang, is the rest of the project gonna be like this? I had one client recently, and I hate talking about clients, right, to other people because I feel bad, but they also wasted my time, so I shouldn't care. I had one client did exactly what he wanted, everything, everything that, he requested and everything that the project required and everything that was supposed to get paid for. And then you miss one phone call because for some reason the clients think that you walk around with your phone attached to your head. So if they call, you must pick up, right? Because their deadline is now, and I don't have any other clients. That's what they think. So I think I missed a phone call because I was with family. And then he left like a scathing voicemail, what sounded like a scathing voicemail. And he refused to pay the second half. I think I was at a point where I had a lot of projects at that time that it wasn't a loss for me. And I didn't want to waste time
chasing that check. Because first of all, it wasn't a lot. It was a referral. It was an amazing project though. And but I didn't want to waste my time. I was with family. I had a lot of projects lined up, and sometimes you just got to eat the loss. I don't like wasting my time with bad clients and trying to appease them because it's in the end they're gonna get what they want.
Yeah, and it's not worth damaging that mental health. Right?
Yeah, for sure. I learned that the hard way. But yeah, I always do contracts. So sometimes I could have easily sent him the contract like, hey, this is But yeah.
You need a business manager to do that for you.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, as a freelancer or if working for yourself, it's hard to do everything. You're an accountant, you're marketing, you're the boss, you're all of that.
I think the upside of it is that you have two entrepreneurial parents, right?
Yeah.
So you have that spirit that runs.
Oh yeah. It's wired. Even if I didn't want to, there's so many times where I'm just like, I just want a regular job, man. Just give me my paycheck every 2 weeks, But the last job that I had before, because I was actually working a 9 to 5 maybe in 2013 because I wanted to kind of up my income and then see what was out there. Because like I said, sometimes you kind of doubt your direction.
Yeah.
So
family does that though.
Family does that to me. It was just like, oh, you're not really gonna get a real job. Like this is my real job, thanks to this I'm never unemployed. But
shout out to my creators.
Yeah, shout out creators, dude.
Shout out to all of you.
Tough life career wise, fighting against traditional
not working for the post office or something that gives that kind of that what is it, that familiar Filipino comfort zone,
Yeah.
Something to fall back on.
But I really wish
working
that
at a hospital.
I really wish that I could
fuck
be
you.
that though sometimes.
Or being a procurer for a finance business.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I don't know if you've ever, felt that way too sometimes. Like you kind of wish that you were just did what everyone else was doing. Because it seems easier. It seems like that's what you're supposed to do.
I'll tell you, as somebody who does a lot of music and, does podcasts now, I've thought about this, right? Before I actually hopped in, I went to school to become an LVN. And before I did that, I wanted to actually do journalism, right? But then my mom kept hounding me saying, you need that, it needs to be sturdy, right? Healthcare, people always need to be taken care of. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Bedside care isn't my thing, but I was good with computers, and that's when I pivoted into IS. I found that I can redirect all of the skills that I've had or made being a creative and rhyming and doing shows,
making your MySpace profile page popping,
bro. It. No, for real.
Coding.
That's a skill in itself, man.
Coding,
but
using
all of these skills by playing musical instruments and being out in front of a crowd, I'd use those same skills to lead a meeting, and you can see it, and that's I think where I shine the most in my current position. And the funny thing is, full circle too, is that I didn't do journalism to do something that's more comfortable, right? And I do that, but then also I hopped into podcast, which is also technically journalism.
It is. Yeah.
So take that, mom. No, it's fine. I love you, mom.
I don't know. Things just happen the way they're supposed to.
They do. Things fall into place.
If
you know,
just,
like if you get an inner city kid with a chip on her shoulder, who has a bitch ass teacher who draws corn cobs with dots, she will eventually see that she will create beautiful work, not behind the name of Jerry, but as Jerisa, who she actually is, and continue to fucking flourish as an artist and just, accept it.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Good
That was
shit.
Very well put. Thank you.
It's the absinthe.
Hey, you need to try this. It smells tastes great.
As we're kind of wrapping up the pod, Jerisa, and for those who's been following for a long time, Jerisa's been on here a long time. She's had a lot of stories, and she has a lot more stories to share with us.
Yeah,
she is
definitely
a big part of why I was able to be so creative and dived on in so many projects with me and trusted me and so fortunate to be surrounded with so many talented people on a regular basis, and knowing one for over 25 years and the trust that we have for one another, and she's family. You know what I mean? She's always helped. She gives feedback. She helped me to be a better person, especially when it came to creating, because she was always down to create, and that's why she is where she is now, is because she trusted herself, because I've always trusted her artwork.
Wow, thank you. Honestly, I am privileged to know you. It has been a blessing, and we did meet through God, so it had to be. Yeah, it had to be. Something really good coming from this connection. And if it wasn't for you, honestly, I probably wouldn't have gone into the projects that you were putting out.
Relax.
Shut up and take your flowers, motherfucker.
Take your flowers. This guy has amazing ideas, and I was just, lucky enough to know him so that I could partake in his world, and that you've introduced me to a lot of great folks that I'm still really cool with today, and I'm always going to be grateful for that. So don't ever forget to take your flowers. You need to give yourself more credit than you are giving yourself. Like, seriously,
Thank you.
Listen to it, because I know we just met, but even if you if you get to know me and we talk and stuff, I will be honest with you.
Hella.
And I will tell you what I'm seeing that you can be doing, and I'm not always right, but if someone tells you, take it.
Yeah.
Take it, because I wish I had that growing up too. I wish someone said hey, you could
Positive
be doing this.
reinforcement,
You were one of those very few people that told me that. That you could be doing this. You could be doing. I didn't see it, so now paying it.
I saw it very early.
Very early, yeah.
And it was pure. There was no school behind it. It was authentically you. And then you went to school to figure out how the masses take it, and then you made it your own, to where what it is now. Like, dude, you fucking did a coloring book. That still blows my mind every time.
Really?
You did a coloring book. Like, I want to cry.
Aww.
Because that's something you talked about for a long time.
I did, yeah.
A long time. And then you did it. Like,
Yeah.
Creators don't get the credit they need because it doesn't always come in a dollar amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you kept pushing. You kept pushing past what the stereotypical need was. I stayed in my lane. I knew what my stereotypical need is, but because of blessing of social media, I seen you constantly creating and making and perfecting your art and just keep doing it. And I was like, wow, she did it. Yeah. Like, you did it, and you're still doing it. And it's the fact that that's your career and you chose it, and no one can take that away from you because you're your own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking love you, dude.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys. I guess one last thing I would say, I think I learned in this past year is, we're always evolving, right? And we're always straying from what we think we're meant for. Because that's my thing, I'm always looking for, what was I here for? Like, what's my purpose?
Right.
And for some reason, I can't seem to move forward fully because, for example, I did websites, right? I was coding and stuff like that. Right. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do because, this makes money. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I wasn't happy, and I kept lying to myself about it. And so this whole journey this past year, I would say more than a year, but I was more focused, was stop lying yourself. Stop shitting yourself. You know yourself better than anybody else. And that voice in your head and those feelings where you feel like you're dying every day at work, I'm the type of person who I don't like being somewhere that I don't feel good at.
Right.
Because life is way too short. So why would you do that to yourself? You're someone God created. You're someone that your parents raised so preciously. And you are killing yourself every day feeling like crap. So this year I was like, you know what? There's nothing that I haven't done already except accept myself for who I am. And be authentic. I was lying to myself this whole time. And I didn't want to be honest about it. So now I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want and see where the pieces fall and where I feel the happiest. And if I find that in my 40s, I think that's a freaking blessing, and I'm going to live that way.
Or 30s, bitch. You don't know how old she is.
Yeah, or 20s. Who cares?
Or 20s.
Or 20s, whatever you think I look like. Then, I'm going to live the rest of my life like that. And I think I would be pretty lucky if I found that. But it cannot happen unless I be, really honest with myself. And stop lying to myself, because that's just what I've been doing, I feel like. And that's why I couldn't go fully into anything. My husband tells me all the time, like, you would be here if you didn't think that you had to do all these other things, and he's not wrong. I kept lying to myself. I'm like, I think I'm this. I'm like, no, you're not. You know you're not. You know, there's no one around you to tell you the truth. So you got to be honest with yourself. You know you better than you, and that is my last thing that I want to say, because that is what I've been working on.
Jen, that was beautiful, by the way. Jen.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what you would say to the young creatives, but I think that was a sufficient message right there. I just wanted to say thank you. It was very nice meeting you, and
Yes.
I know you're OG to the podcast.
OG.
Triple.
Yeah, triple OG.
Triple.
It was really great meeting you guys.
Good meeting you too.
You're good peoples.
I just wanted to kind of notice like some parallels between your story and I. One was I always had a hard time with my college teachers.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with them, and my mom also had a video store.
No way.
It was called City Video on School Street.
Shut
Oh,
up.
hey. Shout out to City Video.
Wow.
It was in the middle of School Street, right?
Yeah, right across from the auto body shop, like right
Wow.
before you
When
get to
was
IHOP.
this?
I think it was around like mid '90s.
It was on the right-hand
Also
side.
in the 90s?
Yeah.
Next to Moon's
That's a
Liquor.
beautiful time.
Look at
Yep,
you guys.
Exactly.
Moon's Liquor, and
Exactly.
then what was that bar that was there?
Ooh, I can't remember that bar.
I remember that video store, because then Liz was the beautician that was down on the left. Yeah,
What?
I worked at that auto body shop, by the way.
What?
Yeah,
What a small world.
We could have been right across the street from each other.
I was breakdancing. You didn't even know it. I was battling you. But I'm a strutter though, because I'm a big dude. I don't get on the floor for no one.
Hey, but you can dance though.
No Indian style here, my friends.
No, crisscross applesauce. We're PC here. Crisscross applesauce.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Crisscross applesauce.
And then one more. I have a project in Boise in June. So
Where's our
I
good
thought
French
that was-
fries?
I thought that was interesting too.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so that's 3 things, right? So
Yeah.
Like out of all places.
yeah.
And you guys are both creators as your full-time job and passion.
Yeah.
True.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
This is meant to be.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard path. Being a creative.
Yeah, it is.
And I recognize. you.
Game recognized game. This is a meant to be connection.
Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I think I was recently struggling on whether if I should keep doing podcasts or not.
I remember.
Why?
No, this is like recent, like within the past couple of weeks. Because I didn't know what I was doing.
That's new.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. But I talked it out with some friends, and I think that as a creative, just as well, not maybe on the same level, there is a struggle to see if you should still keep on doing what you love. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's similar to imposter syndrome because you don't feel like you have your footing. But in actuality, it's because you're worried about your legacy, right? What are you leaving here? And I think somebody told me about podcasting, like, this is your legacy. Like, your kids can look back and they can see all the work you did. And, you know, I think just kind of like along the same path, what you said, you know, I just have to do me and represent me to the fullest, right? So I'm gonna keep fucking podding. And we're gonna keep bodding these fucking shows because that's what we're doing. And we're gonna leave that legacy just as much as I said this before, an inner city kid who was getting jerked around by somebody who ate corn the long way in college.
It keeps evolving. It keeps evolving.
Keep it from my bunghole.
And then had to come over here, and then she was allergic to potatoes, and then, you know, she started doing websites. And that's the thing too, because
And her asterisk rise, and she was out of there.
And then she was rhyming. And I think that's the crazy thing too, because you say that you don't want to be boxed in, but it's not necessarily just in art. It's in life, right?
It's in life,
Making, you know, and you used to be like an optometrician's technician,
Yeah.
all the way to being, you know, making
Mother
websites,
Jerisa.
right?
Dude, I was a compliance analyst.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? If you look at the commonalities on all of those, right? Optometrician tech, what was it? A compliance
analyst.
You're helping them see the truth. Bam! Bitch, I rhyme.
Still got it.
Gus, go ahead.
I'm just so full of joy, and I'm always appreciative of time, and I love it when family comes to visit, and I love it when, you know, we're able to share and then really share each other's energy, because energy is transferable. Like really, as much as people say it, like you really feel people's energy, and it's it to me, it helps reset everything, and just to know that we're all heading in the right direction, and nothing is a coincidence.
Nope, nothing's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Everything's meant to be.
And everything is wrestling.
And everything is wrestling. Even the smallest thing.
Yeah. The small.
Yeah, even the smallest thing is wrestling.
She's talking to that guy.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Pick that one up.
I rhyme too.
167.
What are the websites? What's the Instagram? Where can we find you? Where can we follow? Where can we support you?
Where can I get a digital copy of your coloring book?
Digital copy.
So my personal Instagram is at Mother Jerisa.
MUTHA.
Praise the Lord.
Jerisa. And then my art account is at Life Breeds Art. And then my website is lifebreedsart.com. And then, you know, you can find everything else from
Yeah,
there.
and then do the work if you really want it.
Do the work. And the digital copy of the coloring book is also at Life Breeds Art. You can download. There's a downloadable version of the coloring book.
It was on Amazon. Bestseller. Bestseller for coloring books by Jerisa.
Yeah.
So
bestseller of coloring
He's not
books in
lying.
the dailies
He's
in
not lying.
94015.
you know what I
But
mean?
thank you everyone for your support of my work and just watching and liking and commenting and reposting. You don't think that does anything, but it really does. It's amazing. You know, you don't have to buy anything to support your local artists, your friends who are in business for themselves. You know, they're really trying to create something for their legacy.
Yeah.
Feed their family,
Yeah.
you know, and you're doing a lot just by sharing it with everyone else. So don't forget to create from your heart and support creators. And thank you.
Yeah, but also buy something.
Also buy something, because that's also
You also
great.
buy something because it does.
It does
You
go
like to
somewhere.
eat. So
Yeah, because you can't just eat corn.
Food is fun.
Because I can't just eat
I can't eat your-
reposts.
Yeah, because these
eat your
watercolors ain't fucking cheap. All right.
Dude, art supplies are not cheap, man. But yes, buy something.
Episode
167.
Yes. Love y'all, man. Thank
Love
you,
y'all. Bye.
Jerisa.
Happy International Women's Day.
Woo!